at one point you used the word grooming.
Yes.
What do you mean? What do you mean by grooming? What does that mean?
I mean, grooming is interchangeable with like being manipulative. I do think that a man especially if you're 50 plus, dating a 20-year-old, 19-year-old, 21-year-old, it's definitely grooming. Although I don't think...
It's definitely grooming.
I mean, yeah, because... okay, fine, maybe not.
When you were a sugar baby, do you think you were monetarily manipulated to continue to press into that relationship?
I actually felt that I was kind of more in control. I was finessing them, honestly, when I was a sugar baby. But that's a different dynamic than someone like marrying or like being serious with a...
Couldn't you make the argument that it's more predatory to... Because, I mean, you admitted it yourself. You said you were finessing, correct?
Yeah, 100%.
How were you finessing?
Because, I don't know, I made it seem like I liked them when I really didn't.
In an effort to
get money, yes.
To get money.
Yes.
In an effort to there's a specific term for it, but it's evading me. To
acquire.
In any case, okay, so
Coin?
not extort
No,
money, but
no, I never extorted anybody. No.
Like elder abuse? Is that what
No.
Okay, I was well, it's a thing. In life insurance, they had us read a script. So that they said you have to make sure people over the age of X amount, you must read them a script because that was
Abuse anybody.
I was wondering.
But you know what? There's arguments. I mean, also, like, these are my experiences. I think there's people who would argue that maybe I was taken advantage of. I think maybe you would probably say that I as a young woman, was taken advantage of, right? Well, I felt a different way. And, you know, it is what it is. I'm not going to agree or disagree with either. I mean, I obviously feel the way I feel, so.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I mean, but you said that you were with these men to get... hold on.
Valdev donated $100. CPT Morgan Pose. And fellas like Flannel Daddy
Bro,
says
she
get
left.
out, get training,
Bad timing.
hashtags, G hashtag Haley strategic, okay, but for real though,
Fellas
read
like
this
Flannel
prod the
Daddy
last
says get
chat
out,
also
okay.
5 to 10 years is optimal age gap for a real build a life relationship.
The last chat, also 5 to 10 years is optimal age gap for a real build a life relationship. I mean, it's hard to say what's optimal, but I don't know if it's optimal. I just think people make choices, and some people end up with people closer to their age. Some people end up with people there's a bit more of an age gap. So, yeah, I don't know. But okay, thank you, man. Appreciate it. What was the pose he wanted? I'll have her do it when she comes back.
know them.
Captain Morgan pose.
I've never.
Oh, I think I know what it is. I think.
Oh, like on the liquor?
With one, yeah, with
the
like
chair.
Okay,
stool?
fair.
like that. Yeah.
She's got that.
Yeah. So, I mean, you could actually make the argument that there's a lot more women who are. I mean, these financial relationships. There's definitely the men are I don't know. It's hard to say. Because I believe in accountability. The men, they're spending all this money on women, oftentimes getting very little in return. They're consensually doing it. There may be some degree of manipulation involved,
like scamming and whatnot. Like,
I mean,
sometimes.
we've like, yeah. There's definitely. I do think there is some manipulation, but I mean, I think there's quite a fair amount of women who are doing that sort of shit.
Yeah, I mean, I would say...
Like, who are hustling dudes.
Yeah, and I would agree, but not as many as you would think. I mean, not nearly as many.
It's
I mean,
a lot.
like
It's a
how,
lot.
like what percentage of women do you think are doing that?
Oh, I don't know, but...
I think it's not that many.
I would say, though, that there's probably... I mean, there's obviously scales to it.
Depends
you have
on
women,
what city you're in. In Las Vegas, yeah. I mean, fucking Santa Rosa,
Casino.
no.
Yeah, it's like some
Casino,
people
Robert De
wanna
Niro,
go there, like they
Sharon
want to.
Stone. But I would say, actually, though, that there's scales to it. For example, like how many women are like fleecing men out of their like serious fucking money, that's probably pretty small. However, like on a more lower scale, you have women who are engaging in like foodie calls where they go on a date with a guy just to get a free meal
Oh, yeah.
or a
God.
free experience.
Yeah,
They did a study on that.
sucks.
I think they did a study on that, and they found it was like 1/3 of women have done a foodie call
Yeah, and actually, well, yeah,
because
the
that's
food call.
accessible to just like any.
Any girl,
Any
on,
girl
Tinder,
go on
yeah.
Tinder.
No, I agree with that. I'm not for that at all. yeah.
We've had girls on the show like
Yeah.
normal 19-year-old girls, college girls,
like openly admit.
1,000 followers on Instagram,
Yeah.
just regular run-of-the-mill college girls. Yeah, I have a dude in my phone as Uber. I have a dude in my phone as dinner. Like there's
That's shitty.
That's crazy.
it's pretty common.
No, I mean,
girls
no,
then abusing, I think, their femininity and using guys for the wrong reasons.
No, and I'm not okay with that. I'm what I was talking about was like bigger than that. I mean, I'm not for that. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't like to use guys, that
But you admit to having done it.
older men with millions of dollars. You can't compare that. I mean, plus they
Well,
were.
no.
I mean,
You're
no
still,
accountability.
you're still doing it.
No, how?
You
What-
admitted to like using men.
No, I admitted to having a pay pig who knows that he's my pay pig. That
It's pretty degrading.
he
that
he
thing.
wants to be degraded. He pays for it. That's what he pays for.
But
So-
you could
no,
argue
no,
that
no,
you're taking
no.
advantage
There's a
of like.
distinction between sex work and dating than in real life dating. Like what I'm doing is essentially sex work. I mean, this guy knows what he is.
I always wanted to know the psychology of a pay pig, just out of curiosity. Like I tried to look up, out of curiosity, the dominatrix thing. I tried to look it up, but I don't have the. I don't think I have the type, but I was curious about it.
He came to me.
Yeah, they
Like ask him I've never like felt like I used him for anything. Like he has come to me the entire time. What you're talking about is women who are on Tinder with men their own age and their own socioeconomic
Well, I'm talking about
class.
both.
Both.
I'm talking about both.
Yeah, but there's a huge distinction between the two. I mean, there's sex work and then there's dating. Like,
one time when I was at the
Is it sex work if?
it is with the dominant.
I mean,
it's
I
an
guess.
umbrella term these
One
days. I'm just.
But I don't get why. On one hand, you don't seem to object to like these men are just sending you money.
Yeah, you're saying you're not using him for anything, but you are using him for his money. Say if he didn't have
But,
money,
but
you wouldn't
okay,
be with him.
let's use that argument
I'm
then.
not with him.
But okay,
you wouldn't
but
have
you
been with him.
I'm not with. I've never been with him. I never met. Wait, who are we talking
hold
about?
on. But you said that the men consent to just sending you money
Yes,
and
they
getting
ask
nothing
for it.
and getting
Yeah, yeah.
nothing or little in return. Couldn't you make that same
No,
exact
they-
hold on, let me
yeah.
finish. Couldn't you make that same exact argument about a woman who's 21, she's engaging in a consensual relationship with say a guy who's 35?
Well, one thing is a
Why is it that
because
is
one's a
grooming?
profession and one is a service and one's not a service. Like what I provided is a service.
It's crazy to me. Like a lot of these girls would rather see an 18-year-old do OnlyFans and do porn than be in a loving, caring relationship with a guy who's 10 years her senior. Like that's, to me, it's fucking blows my mind that so many women object to like age gap relationships. Oh, he's 10 years older than you, even though you're an adult and you can join the military and go get fucking blasted, whatever it is. You can sign legally binding contracts. You can get 6 figures of college debt. But if you're in a consensual, loving relationship with someone who's 10 years older than you, then it's a
I think
issue.
10 years is fine. I was more concerned about I said 50 and 18. That's why I was like, well, that's a little weird. But like 10 years is fine. Like I have no issue with 10 years.
I mean, you're kind of walking back what you said, but I'm pretty sure
No,
earlier,
I didn't. I said
earlier,
nothing about 10
earlier in the
years.
conversation, I'm sure if you would have had an issue between 18 and 28.
No. I
What,
specifically said
18 and
50.
35, how about that?
No.
Really?
No, I never said that.
I mean,
Run the footage.
but you said, okay, well, there was a virgin component too. You were like,
yeah, well, that's completely different. So I feel like we're talking about so many different things at once. I'm talking about like my work as a like dominatrix, whatever you want to call it, versus like people dating, and the two are just simply not comparable. Maybe you think they are, but I mean, someone who's experienced in both of these things are not comparable. One's personal,
Well, it's
one's
just-
one's work.
I mean, it's just shocking to me though, is like how many people are ready to defend like a woman at 18 starting in OnlyFans, but like if she's...
I don't defend that. I never did.
Well, okay, maybe not you, but like it's fine if a woman at 18 starts an OnlyFans, but if she wants to date a guy who's 30, oh my God.
No, I don't. I mean, as long as the age of consent is there, I just think it's weird when a 50-year-old wants to fuck an 18-year-old virgin. Sorry for the F word.
Okay, I mean...
Yeah, I don't know. That's like, or just like want to be with an 18, 20-year-old. That's like a huge difference between
Well, hot
10
take.
years.
I mean, hot take here. While, I mean, I don't, to me, it makes sense at like a 50-year-old dating a 20-year-old.
Okay. I mean, why? Because that
If
50-year-old
he
man,
if
not
he
even
can
that
get
girl.
it, like here's the thing: very few 50-year-old men, as we just, I mean, we went around the table on this. Like most 50-year-old men are not going to be attractive to a woman who's 20 or 21.
I mean, if you're
But if he
attract-
can, if he's still in good shape, whatever, he's wealthy, and he can secure a relationship with someone younger, go for it.
For me, it's not really like attraction. I feel like older guys like 50 sometimes are actually really attractive to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more just like when I'm 50, they're like about to die, possibly.
They're
So
about to-
that,
well, yeah, obviously, like,
Sure,
I get what you're saying. Like, let's say long-term relationship. Like, it actually is a fairly good argument. Like for a woman who's like wants a serious long-term relationship, wants marriage. Like if you're 21 and you're thinking about dating a 50-year-old, and if you want to have kids, like he could be like, obviously, I think it's totally legit if you want to date someone around your age range, so that you guys can grow old together, and you know, like that's actually probably a very strong argument to be made. But like, if that's what both the people
What
want,
if he
maybe
has kids your age? That always creeped me out when I would, especially when I was a stripper and whatnot. Like when I would, you know, have sugar daddies who had daughters my age. I was like,
Yeah, I think that's very fetishy and
this is
weird.
disgusting. Yeah. I mean, obviously I got the money and it was fine, like at the end of the day, but like I would have never dated them or taken them seriously. Like it's gross.
Yeah, but you're still condoning their behavior, you know, by entertaining them. Would you not say so?
I mean, sure, but like if it's not me, it would be somebody else, and I'm trying to get paid.
So you're just going to deny accountability and be like, if it
I
wasn't
did not
me, it would be
deny
somebody else.
accountability. I just said that I think it's gross, and I still got paid.
It's
So-
gross,
but you're
but it's
enabling the
fine because
behavior.
you got
Yeah,
paid.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
How is that fine?
Because
So
I got
you're
paid.
you were experiencing something that you feel is gross, but it's okay because you got money from it. What kind of fulfillment does that bring you?
My bank account? Like, what do you mean? What
So
kind of
I
fulfillment does it
think-
bring me?
I think money is way more fulfilling when it's hard earned. Let's just say that.
Oh,
And
so
when-
you feel like sex work isn't a hardworking industry?
I'm not saying it's not a hardworking industry. I just think it's a sad industry.
It's
I'm
not
not going to
fulfilling.
lie.
And that's fine. I mean, you can feel that way, but you just said right now, oh, like you feel like money is better. Like what? Like you feel better when you earn it and you like work hard for it. I mean, I worked very hard for my money when I was dancing. So
Maybe hard earned was the wrong term, but maybe
Double
getting
down.
that money.
I mean,
Double
earned in
down.
a
Maybe
moral
getting that
way.
money.
No,
and-
you can feel disgusted by it, and that's fine. But I didn't do it for you. I did it for me.
But also,
Okay,
you
I
also
never
still
said that
feel
you did it for
disgusted
me.
by
But
it.
you
No,
said that.
I feel like I'm saying that like the guys who are into it, like yeah, they're gross, but I'm fine with what I did.
So you're just going to take
benefiting.
advantage of them.
Yeah,
You-
100%. Yeah, exactly. Like what the fuck?
So, but you're
it's not gonna
condoning
be
their
me-
terrible behavior, so then they go and continue to do it, and you are denying accountability by saying that they're going to go do it anyway. So
How
you're
am
just
I
going to make the
denying
problem worse by
You're
doing it as
basically
well.
advocating for them
Let's
to
go.
do it.
I am. Yeah, and I think that if
But you're like,
if
it's so
okay
weird.
with
So you're advocating for something that you think is gross.
100%.
Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I mean,
Because
like,
it gives you
it's
money.
gross for them. It's not gross for me.
Yes, it is.
But it is still
Yeah,
good
it
for
is
you.
gross.
Because
Yeah.
if it's gross for them, it's still
Because without
benefiting
you, it-
off of this sets back everybody,
Yep.
not just you. You are affecting everybody, even people who aren't participating in the same culture. It sets back every woman around you, whether you think it does or not.
I mean, cry me a fucking river. I don't care.
That's your response.
So you,
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know, like, what you want. Like you doing it to feel bad that these
So
guys
let's just
offered
say,
you?
okay, so
Not
let's say,
necessarily, but it
So you-
sounds like you have a low moral standing, and to be completely honest with you, this isn't a very intelligent take from you.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, feel that way then,
And you're entitled to your opinion.
and so are you.
I'll just say about a year into moving to Los Angeles, I was at a Super Bowl party and a guy, like definitely above 50, maybe 55 or so, just sat next to me and just started counting hundreds. And he was like, so what's it going to be weekly? So yeah, they do make it really easy. But yeah, then I didn't. I just walked away. Actually, I didn't say anything because I was like 19, I think. And I just walked away. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that whatever It definitely goes both ways. whatever intention that you put out there, it will come back. Like in a sense where if you're like, hey, this person's hurting, they went through a divorce, I'm going to be there for them. I'm going to see them, but I'm going to genuinely see them. Like I want to be right there. But then if there is that like iniquity, I guess, it really like I want to get over on them. What could happen is that could happen, come around in your life somewhere, and you'll be like, how did that happen? I think just intention. I think if you put
But if they come to me, how is that inequitable?
Because you're
feeding
continuing
into it.
to you're
Feed-
allowing
right.
it to happen.
You're
I mean,
enabling
you
it.
guys, we're talking about something that I was young. I was in
But,
my early
but
20s.
that's
not
what's
an
sad
excuse.
is that you allowed the sex work industry to prey into you as a young girl to then continue down the path, which enabled you to later in your life become a stripper instead
Later
of
in my life became a stripper. I was a stripper when I was 18 to 20.
Which is sad.
which is
That is
sad.
sad.
That's
That's what I'm getting at.
That's
Is like
times in my
you
life.
were
What are you
18
talking about?
years old.
Well, that's why I hope
Well,
that
earlier-
the sex work industry becomes more holistic over time. I hope in the next 10 to 15 years it really takes a change and things start happening where people are like, oh, yeah, holistic spiritual sexuality.
I don't agree with that at all because how are you going to take an industry of men paying women to sleep with them and make it this healing experience when in reality I think our society more than anything lacks God. Obviously that's in my personal opinion being a Christian. I mean there's so many people that are just so morally lost where you said you started stripping when you were 18 years old. I don't think any woman should ever look to that and be like this is super glorifying in society and this is the right thing for me to do. And it makes me sad that women in our society are lied to so much that they turn to OnlyFans, they turn to selling their bodies on the internet for the male gaze, profiting off of that and continuing. Not only it lowers their self-esteem, women mentally are becoming unhealthier and higher body counts and then less desirable as life goes on to where you're essentially women are ruining their lives.
I've
when they're
never had
younger.
an issue getting a boyfriend, so I don't know what you mean by less desirable. This is my first year being single. I've been had a boyfriend the entire time, so I don't know what you're talking about.
What's the quality of the men you're dating?
I was gonna say what
Yeah.
what is
What
the high
caliber of
value
man
man
are you with?
Are you seeking after?
What's your definition of high? See, I don't prescribe to that high value thing. I mean, I just like someone that I get along with.
But don't you think, like back to the dating scale, that there is something as a high value woman, that there are women that are more valuable in the dating sphere, so then there's also men that are more valuable?
I mean, I guess, but not person to person. I mean, in general, people tend to date.
Brandon Mel's donated $100.
Champagne
the
Poppy.
only time I would ever pay for someone like you is donating $1,000 for Brian to kick you off the show for this sad mindset. You're promoting a disgusting lifestyle.
Oh wow, they're going in.
I never promoted it. I'm literally just talking about my experience. I never said that this was the right choice. I said that I'm okay with it, that I'm not ashamed of what I've done, and that's pretty much like where I left it.
Well, you were promoting older men fetishizing
How am I
women who
promoting
are
it?
the age of their children.
Because I took the money. No, I
Yes.
literally
Horrifying.
said,
Yes,
I
you're
literally said,
condoning the
Glorifying the
behavior.
situation.
I literally said that I thought it was gross, but I took the money. Like what does that have to?
You are
Because-
allowing the behavior. It's like a bouncer at the bar being like, "Oh, I'm not supposed to let you in, but you're gonna pay me, but I'm gonna let you in, but it's not right."
But
you
that's
don't
what I
like-
was there for.
Because you're
Acknowledge-
condoning
That's what you
the
were there
behavior.
for?
As
To
a stripper in
promote
Las Vegas,
men
yes. No, I'm not talking
fetishizing
about-
younger
No,
women
oh
that
my
are the age
gosh.
of their children?
It was
Acknowledging.
literally my job. Like
you didn't have to be
But
there if you didn't
have
want
to do
the
that.
men
You
to
didn't
come
have
to you and do that.
You didn't have to be a stripper.
Yeah.
And on top of that, you didn't have to start an outside of work relationship with this man where it was a monetary gain for you. It just
What if you had an 18-year-old girl sitting in front of you and asking, "Hey, I want to get into the stripping industry because I really am trying to chase that bag." Would you encourage her to do that?
Honestly, at this point, no. Only because ever since COVID happened, the industry has totally changed. And
In what way?
In a good way or a bad way?
in a bad way. The money's not like how it used to be. A lot of girls are.
So if the money
It's
was
just
how it
because
used
of
to
the
be in a
money,
young
though?
girl's
Yes,
like, "Hey, I want to
yes, I
do
would.
it."
Yeah, I would. Yeah,
Okay,
I would.
can I share my experience of my first time at a strip club, please?
At a what?
At
Strip club?
a strip club.
Let's hear
As
it.
a patron, right? You came in as a patron?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
You were a stripper?
no, I was not.
Yeah,
a
I
stripper.
was wondering.
We went for her birthday after.
Wait,
Yeah.
before you go into that really quick, Valdiv, you were gone when he said this. He wants you to do a Captain Morgan pose.
Oh, yeah.
Like on
And then
the
tell us about the
liquor
strip
bottle,
club
like,
situation.
What is it?
you know, the
Captain
liquor
Morgan
bottle?
pose?
No, stand.
Wait,
put
what?
your- Put your foot up on the
it's the
chair.
foot on the chair.
Like
Yeah,
you're
he wanted
conquering
the mount.
America right now.
Yeah.
Put your foot on the chair.
Yeah, there we
yes,
go.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
There you
Thank
go.
you. Thank
Okay.
you. Your strip club experience.
Okay. First off, I will say it was a lot of fun. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, "Oh my god, I was sitting
Closer
there."
to the mic.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
You're
First of all, I would like to point out that I was not sitting there being like, "Oh my god, this is terrible." Well, I was a little bit, but I mean, I did have a good time. I did have fun. But what I observed is that we came and we sat down, and there were girls in the booth or section or whatever. And they're really nice and stuff, and we were having conversations. And then as soon as the money comes out, they're just like in your face, like you know how a strip club is. And then after the money's all on the floor, they just immediately go and pick up the money, and it's almost like a robotic response, and it's really sad to see that behavior for that money. And then after you do that, you literally go on the floor and you pick up the money, and I cannot see how that can be empowering, fulfilling, make you feel good about yourself, because you are selling your body, and that cannot feel good. I can never imagine myself doing that and feeling okay with myself.
Well, girl, that's fine. You don't have to do that. Like, I'm not telling you that you should do that. That's fine.
But you were saying-
I
you were
respect
saying-
that. No, I respect how you feel, 100%. That's
Okay,
fine.
but you were saying that if a young girl came up to you and asked, "Do you think this is worth the money?" You said if the money was like how it was before COVID, you would say yes.
Yeah. If that's what she wanted to do, yes. I don't think that
You wouldn't-
anyone.
would But you
wouldn't
want
you
I don't
ask
think
her?
Anybody should do anything that they feel uncomfortable with. Like the way that you described it, I would never want you to do that. Like that would be horrible.
But also the industry completely lies.
It's sometimes some girls are cut out for it, some aren't, and that's fine.
Cut out.
Psychologically,
Yeah.
psychologically,
Yeah,
if
like,
you
what's
look
the-
at it from a purely scientific perspective, a woman who a woman who is willing to or has convinced themselves that those things are fulfilling, there is something fundamentally incorrect. There is, I don't know a better word to use other than damage or trauma or something that induces that in them. And if you disagree with me, I'm just telling you, it's purely scientific. That you can look at any study that just, let's say promiscuity is a general term. It signifies.
Being a stripper isn't being promiscuous.
No 18-year-old wakes up one day and says, "I'm going to take off my clothes and be a stripper for money." Like, that's just not reality. And it is a psychological fact that there is damage there and trauma that these women who are doing this, it feels like a last resort option for a lot of women because they have nothing else that they feel like that they can fall back on. And then even tying this to trafficking, even like there's it is a gateway.
Going
How
back
is-
to what you said.
Down.
Oh, no, I didn't mean to.
I'm sorry.
I'm
like,
just saying,
like,
how
and
is-
I really feel you guys, and I see, and I hear you. Like you're coming from a certain point of view, but like it's really ignorant. Like you guys really don't know anything about women who do sex work. Well, maybe you do. 'cause
Ariel,
do
you
sex
just
work.
were
Yeah.
called
feel-
ignorant. Would you like to respond to that?
I feel. Oh, yeah.
We're not being ignorant. We're just considering your opinions because you keep
Yeah.
saying, "Oh, I was disgusted, but those were the best days of my life. I'm so glad I got over it." But I
Yeah.
like you're just like
Pretty much-
kind of reiterating your arguments. So we're just
Pretty
trying
much every
you
woman
out.
that I've met that does sex work, either they acknowledge that it's wrong and they want to stop, or they have a lot of trauma. They have a lot of trauma that they need to address.
I think that going back to what you said when you said, oh, if an 18-year-old said, hey, I'm going to get this bag, if like that was like, I can't have kids, but if I did, and that was my 18-year-old, and I said, I would say, get the bag. Like, so are you only doing it for the money? Do you care about these men and their emotional state when you're with them? Like, do you care, like, genuinely about them? Do you care about these relationships that you build? Because the relationships that you have, you're going to learn how to discard people. And when you learn how to discard people, you're not going to have good relationships in your life. So if you are going to be a dancer, do you genuinely care about people and want to maybe make connections and, like, have a good, like, that type of relationship? Or are you just trying to learn how to discard? And
That's
people.
a good response
It
because
sounds
you're
like
actually
you have-
considering her
yeah.
value and not
Yeah.
just saying
But
it's all for the
actually,
money.
'cause I was a stripper and I like to pole dance. I like putting on a performance. I mean, it was a huge part of my life. I mean, like I loved the glamour. I loved all aspects of it. Yeah, every once in a while I get a gross 50-year-old guy that I had to fucking give a lap dance to, but it wasn't that big of a fucking deal because it was worth it at the end of the day.
You
you're
can
complaining
enjoy
about it
pole dancing
also.
without stripping.
We
say
know
pole
people who do pole
I
dancing as
enjoyed
an art.
both. Like, what do you mean?
We know people who do pole dancing as a dance form, like an
Yeah.
art. Like you practice in a studio,
Yeah,
not
but I
people throwing money
I
at you.
learned in the strip club, and I like the money aspect. Like, what do you mean? I literally used to get high off of performing on stage because you're
Getting money.
Getting the money.
That's concerning.
And the performance aspect. Like, what do you mean? Like, there would be like I worked in some of the biggest clubs in the country.
There's a lot of other ways to perform.
Everything you're
100%,
saying
I mean,
is
it's
getting
clear,
more and more
but, like,
concerning.
What?
Psychologically.
Wait.
Y'all are just hella judgmental and whatever. That's fine. That is fine.
It's fine.
I'm okay
It's,
with it.
it's fine. It's
Like,
fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
whatever.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Like,
I'm
you don't know
ignorant
my
and it's fine.
Fine.
experience.
Totally fine.
I'll say,
You
Yeah,
know,
totally
like
fine.
y'all are you're
It's
way
fine.
younger than me. Like you don't even know what you're talking about half the time.
I'll say,
Okay, so now because
think
we
I'm
are
a little
younger
more
than you, we
mature than
don't
you.
know what we're
Okay.
talking
You're
about.
like
Hi.
my little brother's age. That ass.
Wait, okay. Hold on. Let me come in here really quick. You had mentioned at one point, because I think it came into, I forgot precisely what the wording was, but you said that you don't have any trouble finding boyfriends. Now, perhaps
Correct.
that's congratulations, good for you. You don't think it does limit your dating pool though, that you're involved in sex work. Do you not agree?
I'm not even involved anymore. But yes, I mean,
Well,
I'm
even-
sure,
even that you were involved
and,
in the
and you know
past.
what? I'm sure it does. But in a way, it kind of it filters out like the assholes. I would never want to be with a guy that cares about that or cares about body count. Like, and I've
Okay.
never had a guy really care that much about any of it.
So don't you think those guys maybe care more about that? Like they care about it because they know how much it matters.
No, I'm saying that they don't care. Like I've never had a guy care about
Do you
that.
want kids?
Not sure.
Do you want to get married? Do you want to have a life partner?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
Okay.
yeah, I don't know yet.
Because
We'll
I
see.
mean, I can speak a bit from the guy's perspective. Like, there are definitely guys out there that, when it comes to casual sex or friends with benefits, maybe even a relationship, maybe they might entertain a girl with, past like that. But I think when it comes to marriage and kids, a lot of men are going to take pause with someone who's been involved with that sort of thing.
I've ended both of my relationships. It was me that ended it. Like I've never had an
Sure.
issue. Like I could have, honestly, I could have been married with kids right now, but I chose not to.
Can I ask why you ended them?
Honestly, I have certain people watching this. I don't really want to go into that.
Well, let's
Yeah.
really quick. I'm going to try to move things here along a little bit.